Hello everyone. So I'm back with the last part of LeetCode array problem solution series. So this is the last question in the array chapter of LeetCode and we are going to solve that today. The question for the day is to find the squares of sorted array, and let's jump into the problem right away. So we have a problem statement which states that given an integer array nums sorted in non-decreasing order, that is in ascending order, return an array of squares of each number sorted in ascending or non-decreasing order. So when we have numbers like -4, -1, 0, 3, 10, we need to first square all these numbers and then we have to sort the squares, like the square of 0 is 0, then -1 is 1, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, and 10 square is 100. So basically we need to square all those values in the array and then return them in the sorted order or in ascending order. So they have mentioned the explanation that after squaring, the values become 16, 109, and 100. And after sorting, they become 019, 1600. And there is another example, similar one, which we can refer to as well. And from the first look of it, the question seems easier. Like the most easiest way in which I can solve this is I can just sort this nums array and I can just square it. So the most easiest way in which we can proceed ahead with the solution, like the simplest approach is just sort the nums array using the sort function. In sort function, whenever we are like using the sort function in JavaScript for numbers, we need to have a built-in function or use a built-in function to sort the arrays to get the sorted values properly. Like we cannot directly use the sort function like this. For numeric sort, we need to use the function to allow it to compare the numerical values properly. So we write that function is, let's say, using arrow notation. The default two element arguments or inputs here are A and B, and we need to return A minus B. And once we have the numbers in sorted order, let's just first log out the nums and check if it is sorted first using console.log. That is nums, nums, and let's just run the code. So this is the number which we have, and I think this is the, okay, these numbers are already in sorted order. So what we can do is we can first square the elements and then run the sort functions. So for squaring the elements, what we can do is we can use const, let's say sorted elements or squared elements is equal to use.map, and we can simply return maths.power element comma 2. Once we have the squared elements, we can then sort the squared elements and then return the squared elements which are sorted. So this is how the code will look like. Now let's just try to run the code and see if we are right. So these are our squared elements, which is 0, 1, 9, 16, and that is the expected answer. And if I even submit the solution, I think it will be accepted as well. But there is a last statement here on the follow-up which tells that squaring each element and sorting the new array would be very trivial solution. And we need to find a solution which has O of n complexity. So this solution which we have currently found out, this has a complexity of O of n log n, because we have a for loop which has a n complexity and sort function generally has a log n. So the complete complexity of this is O of n log n, and we need to do it in O of n time. So this solution obviously won't have that impact or that kind of effect that we need or the complexity that we need. So this is out of the question. This was just to show you that this is the most trivial approach which you can do. Now for O of n solution, I had to think a lot. And even after thinking, I did not found a good solution by myself. So I referred to Geeks for Geeks, and the solution which they like showed us, we are going to see that next. So the way in which they like explain going through the solution is, we start with 2 pointers. One pointer is towards, let's say, the left of the array, and second is towards the right. So this is the same example which we have in our input, which is -4, 0, -1, 0, 3, and 10. So let's say these are our elements of the array. And we need to start a pointer from the left, and we need to start another pointer from the right. And we create a sorted squares array like this, which will initially contain 0 as the default numbers in its array. Like if the array size is, let's say, 5 elements, then we'll create a sorted squares array with 0 repeated 5 times. Now once we have done that, what we do is we move from left side one by one, and we move from right side one by one. The basic question that we should have is, why are we doing this? Let's just say, for example, if we did not have this -4 and -1 here, in that case, if we had a sorted square like this, it would have been quite easy to like take the maximum element and then start adding the square directly towards the end. Like if I know that if I start from left here and if I start from right here, I will just find the maximum element of the two. Like this, let's say if 10 is the maximum element, I will just square 10 as the max element, and I will push it towards the end of the array. Next, I will decrement my iteration count. So let's just say I am running a for loop here, which is running from sorted squares, or running on sorted squares from the last element to first element. That is, we are iterating over this sorted squares array with the 0 values from the last element towards the first element. And since we need the elements in sorted order, we know that the last square or the last element which needs to be added here will be coming from the maximum number from our input array. In that case, if we are running 2 pointers like this, we will know that if I compare 4 with 10, 10 will be the max element, obviously. So what we can do is we can push the value of the square of 10, that is 100, towards the last element here, that is 100. Let's just say we have 100 pushed. Then we move towards the next index, and we see which is the max element by traversing from left and from the right. In that case, the left pointer, let's say, is still at 4, and the right pointer is at 3 right now. In that case, by comparing 4 and 3, we know that okay, the 4 element is the like larger than the element 3, and we can push the square 16 here, and we can move ahead. Now you might have a question in mind, okay, how am I finding the maximum element by just running the left and right pointer? The reason why I can do that is because my array is already in sorted order, right? So I know that if the elements were, let's say, in positive, like if all the elements were positive, we would have had an array like this, which is starting from 0, then 1, then 3, then 4, and then 10. In that case, it would have been easy, like I will just pick up the last element, square it, and push it in towards the last of my array. Since I don't have that, like I don't have the privilege of going reverse and directly pushing it, and since we have the negative values like this, what we can do is we can start with 2 pointers, like starting from the left and right, and we can check the absolute values. Like towards the end, it will obviously come towards 0 or the nearest positive or negative element, right? So if I start my left and right counter from the -4 or the first element and the last element of the array, I know that anything beyond 0 might be negative values, or it might be the smallest positive value. In our case, it is a negative value, and in this case, we have the right element as 10. So if I compare the absolute value of these two elements, like if I compare, let's say, absolute value of 4 and 10, I know that 10 will be larger, and in that case, why am I comparing absolute values? Because if I square these two values, that is, if I square 4 and if I square 10, I know that the result will be always positive. And I need to check whether the negative value, which is starting from the left, and the positive value, which is starting from the right, which of them is the greatest. For example, if this would have been 14, then in that case, I cannot just pick up my element 10 and push the value 100 directly towards my end, because obviously for -14 square is greater than square of 10, right? So what we can do is we can compare the absolute values of the pointers running from left and right. That is, we can compare the absolute value of 14 and 10, in which case 14 will be larger, and we can take the square of 14 and push it instead of pushing the value 100, something like that. So in our case, what we do is we start from the left pointer and the right pointer, and we compare those two values. Since these are in ascending order, we can do it. If it would have not been in the ascending order, like if this array wouldn't have been in the non-decreasing or ascending order, this wouldn't have been possible directly. But since the elements are in ascending order, we can compare the negative value towards the left and the positive value towards the right, because towards the right, the element will be always the largest positive value, and towards the left, the element will be always the largest negative value. Like obviously the value of the element would be, let's say, minus 14, the net value is lesser, but 14 as an absolute value will be the greatest, right? If we come, take the value of, let's say minus 14, the absolute negative value or the absolute of the negative value towards the left would be always the largest, and the absolute of the value towards the right would always be the largest. So we can compare the largest with the largest negative with the largest positive, and we can decide, okay, which element to be put at the end. I hope this is making sense. Like if these values would have been something like, let's just take another example so that we are completely clear. So let's just say we had values like minus 15, then minus 4, then 0, then 1, and then let's just go with 14. In that case, if I start from my right index, like let me just move this up a little. So in that case, if I start from my right and the left index, I know that the absolute value of minus 15 is 15, and 15 square will be obviously greater than 14 square. Why we are comparing only these two values? Because every value which is in the middle is lesser when it is squared. Like minus 4 when squared is 16, 1 squared is, let's say, 1. But 14 squared and 15 square, that is 225 and 196, I think, would be obviously the largest values which can be added towards the last index, right? That is why we compare these two values and we take the largest of the two. In this case, we take the largest of the absolute value of 15 squared, that is 225, and then we push it towards the last element. Then we increment the left pointer by 1, and then we check minus 4 with 14. In this case, we know that 14's absolute value is greater, so its squared value will be greater. So we can push the square of 14 next. In this case, if I push 225 here, then I can take the square of 14, and whatever the square of 14 is, we can push it here. I hope that is 96. I have forgotten basic maths. Let me just check. Yeah, it's 196. Okay, good. I'm set. Okay. So in that case, we will store the value 196 here, and then we will decrement the right pointer, and then we move towards the right pointer to the 1. Then we compare the value of minus 4 and 1, and in that case we know that minus 4 absolute value squared is 16 and 1 square is 1, so we can push 16 next in our array, and then the value of 1 squared, which is 1, and then the 0. So I hope this is making a little bit sense why we are moving from left and right pointers and why we are doing this stuff. So let me just undo all this, and let's just go with the basic example which we had. So in the basic example, what we are going to do is, I think this is minus 4. So in the basic example, what we are going to do is, let's just say we have the 10 as the maximum positive value and minus 4 as the maximum negative value. We'll compare minus 4 with 10, and we know that 10 is the largest value. That is why we will store the value 100 in the last index of our sorted square. Then this left, which is now pointed at the minus 4 element, has the index 0. Like currently it is pointed at array index 0. That is why left has the value 0, and right might have a value of 4 in the beginning, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it is pointing at the 4th index of the array. Now, once we have pushed the value 100 here, we will decrement the right pointer by 1, and we will set it to point at the index 3, which is the element 3, and also the index is 3. Then we'll compare 3 with 4, and now we know that 4 is the maximum value of 4 and 3, like the absolute values, and we will now push 16 our sorted squares array. Like the sorted squares will be now 0. Okay, let me just get it just below the array. So it will be 0, 0, 0, 16, 100. And now our left pointer can be incremented by 1 because we are done with -4. It is pushed into our array. So we can now move ahead with the element -1. In that case, our left will be now 1 and our right would still be at 3 because 3 is not yet pushed into the array. So we'll keep it like that only. So this is how we can proceed ahead and we can store the values and eventually the entire array would be sorted. Now this would run in O of n time because we are doing the both of the operations, which is querying as well as pushing in a single for loop. That is why this works. So let's try to come up with a pseudocode once we have understood the approach. So the pseudocode is as such. We initialize the left with the 0th index. We initialize the right with the nums dot length -1, which is the like the last element of the array. Then we create a sorted squares array with all values as 0. Like it will contain zeros till like zeros of size nums dot length. Once we have all those zeros, so yeah, nums dot length. Once we have created this sorted array, I think nums dot length will be 5 and array, yeah. So sorted square has to be 0 values of length, nums of same length as nums dot length. Once we have done that, we will run a for loop on our sorted squares from I is equal to nums dot length -1 or sorted squares dot length -1. Let's just go with sorted squares dot length -1, and just so we are clear, let's just have 0 0 0, and then we proceed ahead. So this will start from I is equal to sorted square -1 till I is greater than equal to 0, and we will run I minus minus. Basically, we are running from last to first, and within that we will check if absolute value of our left element or nums of left, basically that is nums of 0 or 1 or whatever, is greater than absolute value of nums of the right value, which is this one. If it is greater, like if the left element is greater, then the sorted squares of I, why I, because we have started from the end, so this will point to the last index right now, will be equal to nums of left, which is the element, else sorted squares of I think this needs to be shifted a bit at the top, will be equal to nums of right. And every time we push a element from the left, we need to increment the left counter because we are starting from 0. And every time we push an element from the right, we need to decrement the right counter. So that is how this goes. So with that in mind, let's start off with the actual code in the next half of our session. So in this case, I have just commented out the code which was written previously. And let's go step by step. First, we define the left value, which is equal to 0. Then the right index or the right pointer, this would be equal to nums dot length. Then we need to define, I think we can go with const for sorted squares array. And this would be a new array. So let's just see how to add zeros with the array. So this is what we need. The length would be nums dot length in our case. And we are going to fill it with zeros. Let's just check if this is creating a proper sorted squares array first before we proceed ahead. So we are taking the sorted squares and printing it out using console.log. Sorted squares and sorted squares. Let's run the code. So we have a sorted square with 5 elements is equal to the number of elements in the nums array. So we are good. Let's move ahead and comment out this code. Next, we are going to run a for, just like we practiced in our ArrayJam, which is this for loop. So we initialize the I value with sorted squares dot length -1. I must be greater than equal to 0. It will run till 0, and we have to decrement I so that the last element in the array gets filled first. Now we add the condition. I think before adding the condition, let's add a left element and a right element. So the left element will be nums of left. This is just because we need a bit more clarity when writing the code. And the right element to be compared is equal to nums of right, like the last element and the first element. Then we check if math dot, I think it is ABS, but let me just check. Yes, it is ABS. So math dot absolute of the left element needs to be compared or needs to be checked whether it is greater than math dot absolute the right element. If the left element is greater, we set the left element as the last element for the first iteration, and then so on and so forth. So this will be equal to left element, and we decrement the, sorry, we increment the left pointer because it's starting from 0. We know that right element is a greater element, so we push or we set the right element as the last element, but we don't need to set the last element, we need to set the squares. So in this case, we will set maths dot, like we are just squaring the element instead of adding it directly. So left element 2, and this will be same here. So we will store the square of the elements. I think I will have to change the, yeah, this should be square of the value. Like, I don't know how to represent the square, but nums of left should be squared. And even nums of right. I don't know how to have a that superscript 2 notation. That is, I'm just typing as that square. I think I have messed up the squared spelling a lot of times today. Like this might be the 10th time I have actually written the squared spelling wrong. Happens. Now we are, I think, done. So let's just console.log the sorted squares array value and check if we are right. I don't know if we will be right. We are just creating the pseudocode. We are going to return it as well. Again, for the last time. I don't know why I'm making the mistake in square spelling. Anyway, let's run the code and check. Are we right? Are we wrong? Judging and finished, and we are somehow wrong. So why are we wrong? Because we have used left element. Yes, and that says right. So we have left at 0, right at nums dot length. I is equal to sorted squares. Yes, it was right. Dot length -1. Let's just print out the elements and check where we went wrong. So this is my left element. This is my right element. We have the index. Let's just check those values first. I don't know. The people who are viewing right now might be able to know the mistake directly, but for now, I can't figure it out. So let me just check. So right element and left element is somehow undefined. That is the issue. And why is that? Is this from num dot length -1? Probably. So, okay, we have fixed the right element at least. And we haven't decremented the right element. So this is my second mistake, which is right -1. Yeah, mistakes happen. That's the part of life and part of coding as well. And I think this is correct with this. So this is should be our final code. I'm going to just comment out the logs before I submit the solution. And let's just check if this is accepted as well. So this is the accepted solution. We use the pointers. Now, this was the solution which I actually took from Geeks for Geeks. Like I'm going to share the link in the description as well. So this is how the algorithm went by, just like we discussed right now. Left is at 0, right is at n-1. Absolute of left and right is compared, and then we store the values. I think this is a pretty great solution. I don't know who submitted it, but yeah, I think Nishant Singh wrote the article, so kudos to him. And the time complexity of this approach is often which we wanted, and the first one which we wrote, like the simplest one, has a complexity of O of n log n. So they have used that as well here, and like for loop, then square the values and then sort, and the complexity is around n log n. Now I have access to GitHub Copilot. For those of you who don't know about GitHub Copilot, it is a AI based code pair programming tool which you can use to like write some comments, and the Copilot will generate the code for us. Now I have seen some videos where they are able to learn or implement the LeetCode solutions directly by writing the question statement in comments. So let's just check if this works for us. So what I'm going to do is I have an index.js file created here, and I'm just going to copy the problem statement and add it in comments. So that is how we are supposed to check. Then we write a function with a process or any name, and hopefully Copilot will be able to generate the code. So this is the code which Copilot is generating for now. We have nums from 1 to 10 and a result. Then it is pushing the squared values and then sorting. So this has a complexity of n log n, but it is only using the positive integers. We need positive and negative. So let's like change the comment a bit with, so given an integer array, nums with positive negative integers. I'm just trying to check how much smarter or how much useful Copilot could be. So given an integer array with positive and negative integers, sorted in non-decreasing order, return. The rest of the statement remains same. And let's try to see what solution Copilot comes up with now. So it has came up with another solution which I don't know. So I'm just going to cycle through some of the solutions and see what all solutions it generated. So this was the solution which we got in the first time, which is map and then square. This has a complexity of n log n. Then I think this is the second variation of same solution. This is the one which it showed just now. Here we have array dot flatten all the arguments, then but it is still n log n, n log n, n log n. So all of the solutions which are currently suggested by Copilot have a complex time complexity of n log n. So let's just improve the command with time of O of n. Okay, so apparently Copilot knows what I need to type. Let's try that. by hitting tab, and then let's just check if it comes up with O of n complexity somehow. So it hasn't. Like, is this is not in ascending order, first of all, so we will have to modify the problem statement again, I think. So integers in ascending order, return an array of each number in ascending order. So I have modified the statement again, and let's just check what Copilot comes up with now. So currently it is still not in ascending order, so I think this won't work. That's, I think, decent enough. Like in the beginning stages of Copilot, so it is, I think, trained on Stack Overflow answers, and this might be the most common answer. That is why it is throwing us the like variations of this. But the solution which we like, even I couldn't come up with, but after some research, Geek4Geeks website suggested has O of n complexity, and I think for now Geeks4Geeks has much better solutions than Copilot for at least this problem. I don't know about others. So that will be like the final conclusion of this session. Like, if we need to come up with the optimized solution, trust ourselves and trust Geeks, sites like Geeks4Geeks than Copilot for now. Eventually, I think Copilot would be a lot better. Which brings me to the upcoming video series. Like, as I mentioned, this is going to be my last video on LeetCode array problems. After this, I'm planning to create some videos on website development. And since I have Copilot access, I'm going to see if Copilot can be used to speed up my website development process. Like, we will create more React based or front-end development based tutorials in the future parts. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more such videos. Like, I will be covering more questions on data structures, probably from some different website or some different section of LeetCode. And I'm going to continue web development series again, since it's a long time since I have added a front-end development tutorial on this channel. So stay tuned for that as well. That's it from today from my end. Thank you and have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye.